I'm sitting in a journalism school, and I look out in the room, and I know that everyone in this room is thinking, well, I have a story, or I would tell it in my way, or I have a thought about how I would tell the story, or, where was I standing, or was I and in fact, part of how the CameraPlanet Archive came to be, I mean, I'm not an archivist, I'm not trained as a historian, I was a filmmaker, and I was gathering material. And any of you who've worked with material know that it's the more that you gather, the more difficult it is to figure out how to organize it. And so we started putting together a database, and all of a sudden we were gathering what was about 100 hours worth of material. And in looking at the interviews, and you'll see a little bit of the archive this evening, in looking at the interviews, the one thing that became clear to me very quickly was that the pictures that we had gotten of the initial group of photographers looked very much the same. Looked young, professional, mostly white. And as I looked at the interviews, it was very clear to me that it didn't look like New York. And so we said, well, there must be other footage. And so we put a little ad in the Village Voice and said, if you have footage of 9/11, we'd like to hear from you. And instantly the phone started ringing. And the thing that was so extraordinary was everybody that we talked to from that moment on said, we just want a place to go. We have this material. We feel vaguely guilty that we shot it. Most everyone said that in one way or another. And we don't want to be responsible for it any longer, and would you please take it, or buy it, or partner with us, or manage it, or do something. But everyone we spoke to wanted to put it somewhere. And so at first it was to finish this film we were working on, and we brought some material. And then very clearly, I remember the loggers and the screeners we were working with kept saying to me, well, there must be someone professional doing this. And I said, well, I'm sure there is, and when they show up, we'll give it to them. Figured the phone would ring and they'd say, all right, now, that's a very nice job you've done, but it's time to hand things over to the professionals because the archive police are here. And it turned out there were no archive police. There wasn't even an archive conversation. What there was a lot of people scared of this material, in part because it's very emotional, and in part because it's complicated to know what, this is what I always say is that the CameraPlanet Archive is a curated archive, and what I mean by that is for every hour of footage that we gathered, there's probably another 3 that we looked at and said either we've seen this angle before, or the person whose voice would narrate the film isn't powerful enough or clear enough or distinct enough.